lot, Miller Corner here, welcome back once again. The Super Seicento is back! So yep, after all this time, the Super Seicento is back on the road. The rebuild, the reshell is complete. All the problems that we had at first have been sorted out pretty much, and now it's just time to do what I was trying to do all those months ago when we first finished the engine swap, and that is to just drive the thing. I've brought this car to some very, very important roads for me, because these roads were kind of the first ones I drove on for fun. When I first got my P plates, when I passed my driving test, I could drive on my own. I basically just went everywhere. Any roads I could find, if it was drivable on, I was driving on it. And that meant some slightly sketchy ones and some very fun ones. And these ones that I'm on right now were the first roads that I drove on, and I turned around at the end and went back because I just knew that was awesome. I'm going to do that again. And I keep coming back to these roads whenever I'm feeling like I want a nice drive, because they're the perfect roads for a car like this, which is quick enough to get moving, but not so fast that the power's unusable on proper, tight, twisty turns. And now the Super Seicento's sorted and it's back together. That little sign you can see right there is an absolute blessing, because now the fun really begins, people. We've had problems, we've had issues, but now the car is back. It's a beautiful day, as you can probably see, and now all I'm worried about is having some proper fun on my favourite roads. And oh, it is so good. I can't explain how good it feels to finally have this car done, to have it back on the road, to have the majority of the problems sorted out to the point where it's now drivable, it's reliable. I've been daily driving it since it got back on the road. Now I can enjoy it, and what a day and what a road to go and do it on. Oh, God, I've missed this. The temporary daily, don't get me wrong, it was perfect for what it needed to do, and it was still good fun. It still had that Seicento spirit, but nothing on this. This has got everything I could ask for in a driving experience. We've got the coilovers on it now, which means I can make the most of a brilliant chassis. It's already good, it already responds well to small steering inputs, to all that kind of stuff, but as you probably saw when I did the review of the coilovers, this takes it to another level. The steering is instant. It's like you're connected to the road and you can put the car exactly where you want it. It's amazing. It's so good. It's so sharp. And I've got the brakes as well. We've got those Punto GT brakes on here with the bigger calipers, the bigger uprated discs, the better green stuff pads. The brakes are perfect. They just give me all the confidence I'm looking for, which means I can push it just that little bit harder, and oh, God, do you feel the benefit. That 1242 on paper doesn't make much difference compared to the normal engine. It's only making sort of 10% more horsepower and a little bit more torque, but the reality is it makes a world of difference, because it's so much keener to pull. It makes more power and more torque from lower down in the rev range, so you can just give it some pretty much anywhere. The standard engine, it's kind of reluctant, is probably the best way to think of it. You put your foot down, you go to accelerate, and the car initially goes, oh God, if we have to, and then it gradually picks up speed. With the 1242, straight away, instant. Now don't get me wrong, we're still not actually going that fast, we're still not breaking the speed limit, we're still not doing what you'd call fast driving, but it feels so much meatier and so much more ready to go than the standard engine. It's so much more ready to pull, and oh, that Sportex exhaust as well and the stainless manifold means not only have you got more power, but it sounds faster as well. Those of you that will know that you've put an exhaust on a relatively slow little hatchback, you don't actually have to be going faster, but if it sounds like you are, it makes it so much better. And oh God, from in here it sounds decent, from outside, as you probably can tell, it sounds amazing. I love that exhaust, and I love how eager this thing is. It's so keen to rev now, just pulls anywhere in the rev range, any gear. It's so good. Oh my God. Oh my God, it's good. Some people will say, yeah, but it's not fast. You know, a Fiesta ST would mince it. And yeah, I won't deny that. If you want to get yourself a new Fiesta ST on finance and you want to go up against this, you're probably going to win. There's no denying that, because a Fiesta ST has probably got nearly triple the power this does. But I just don't care, because this isn't about how much power you have, it's how much you can use. And I just know I can use all of this thing's ability all of the time. It's amazing, it's brilliant. I mean, it doesn't get much better than this. Look at the views. I've got a gorgeous view. I've got a beautiful day. I've got this fantastic road, and I've got my favourite car with me, and oh, good God, this is good. It's so good. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That instant response. There's no laziness, no reluctancy. You put your foot down, and it goes. And oh my God, it's so good. Oh wow. You can tell on this road, there are straights on this, so there are places where you can give it a good squeeze and see what that 1242's got. But on the whole, all you got to do is make the most of what it does, which is respond so well to tiny little inputs. I can just thread it through. On the brakes there, those GT brakes are so good. And there's so much more feel to them than the standard brakes. In the temporary daily, you just slow the car down. In this, I can decide exactly how much I want. I can dial in and go, no, I want a couple of miles now less through here, and I can make it happen. And oh my good God. Woohoo! Oh, it feels so light, because it is light. This is only 3/4 of a ton, don't forget. This is not a heavy car, and that means, all right, that 1242 is not making all the power in the world, but it doesn't need to. It just needs to rev freely, and what it has got, it gives you with the utmost urgency and the utmost willing, which means you can use all of it, and that makes it feel so much quicker than it actually is. I'm just about getting to the speed limit right now, but it just doesn't matter. All I care about is having more of this. Oh, yes. Power's always there when you want it. Don't get me wrong, it's not going to scare you. This isn't scary fast, this thing, but it's quick, it's brisk, it's got some go, and as you can probably tell, it's got the grin factor as well. Oh my God. I went on a few hoons in the temporary daily, which kind of reminded me what a standard Seicento drives like, and don't get me wrong, it's great. They're fantastic cars, either from the factory. They're light, they're fizzy, they've got the energy, but you just get the feeling that everything there is potential. You get in the car and you go, what if, what if, what if? It would be so much better if. This is that if realised, and now it's been realised to unlock every potential this car's got, for the handling, with the lightweight, with that fantastic chassis, with the direct steering, thanks to the coilovers, with the brakes, because if you've got really good brakes on a really light car, there you go, it just stops on a dime, and that's brilliant. Even when you're not hooning, being able to stop that quickly and that easily, yeah, that's pretty damn good. Knock it down and give it a... Oh, yes! Woo! That engine, it's not powerful, don't get me wrong, it's probably only making 70-ish horsepower, even with the mods we've done to it, the exhaust and all that stuff, but you know what? That's more than enough. I'm not asking for miracles, I'm just asking for more of what it's doing right now, which is to say it revs with willing, it's eager. You can go into a corner relatively quickly because of the tyres, because of the brakes, because of the suspension helping you out. You go through the corner at speed because it's flat and planted, and then you come out of the corner and you just know you've got the torque to pull you out of it and keep you going at speed with a smile on your face. Oh wow, so good. Again, all the numbers, I cannot make a case for this car with the numbers because you just can't. It doesn't have anything number-wise that makes sense to anyone who cares about that kind of thing in their car. So don't try and make sense of it with numbers. Make sense of it with the emotions, because with a car like this, it's not about being the fastest, but it's about feeling the fastest. And this car's got such a personality that engine, oh, it makes it feel very quick indeed. And those coilovers mean that I've got absolutely perfect steering response. It's sharp, it's eager, and as you might have been able to hear, if you really give it some and then lift off, oh, it burbles and pops. This isn't even decatted. It's not even like it's popping and banging because it's got a decat. This has got a standard road legal, albeit high flow cat in it. It's just popping and burbling because of its personality. It's doing it because it's fun, because it's exciting. Oh, what a thing. There were times during the build when I genuinely wasn't sure if this was going to pay off. Like, all these months we spent underneath the car doing stuff to it to rebuild it, and it kind of felt a bit demoralising at some stages. I thought, is this really going to be worth it? Is this really what we're aiming for? Like the time when the gearbox blew up, and I thought, maybe we should quit. Maybe this isn't worth it. Maybe there is no light at the end of this tunnel. But I kept pushing through because I knew I had to see this through. I knew I had to save this car, whatever it took, because ultimately I let it down. I said that. The reason the accident happened in Germany was nothing to do with the car, because the car wasn't moving when it happened. So it was always going to be down to me, because I think when you're wrong, you hold your hands up, you admit it, and you make the situation better. And that's exactly what I've done, because we've tuned the engine up a bit, we've done a few nice little cosmetic improvements. Oh, wow. And these roads mean so much to me as well, because I brought the car here. I bought the original Super Seicento shell here when it was totally bone stock. I only passed my test a couple of weeks ago, and I went onto these roads and I couldn't stop smiling. I turned the radio off, I just ignored all distractions. All I did was focus and live in the moment of, this is what driving is about. So those of you working on a project car where it's not quite where you want it to be, or you haven't got the money to repair it or to modify it, or it's broken or whatever, hang in there. That's all I'm going to say, because it is so worth it. You form an emotional bond with cars like this, because obviously how much I've put into it in terms of effort and time and work, and how much I've done with it. I've been thousands of miles across Europe with it. I've been to all kinds of car shows. I've had to reshell it through no fault of the cars. So you get connected to it, and when you get connected to it, you just feel so much more in tune with what it's doing. It's so... I don't even have to think about what I'm doing, because it just flows. It's not... I cannot explain how connected I feel with this car. And it's one of those cars that whenever I get in it, I smile, genuinely. I drove to the gym this morning, I just started it up, that exhaust burbled into life, and the whole car's vibrating slightly because it's on coilover, so it's a little bit stiff, and there's not much sound deadening, so you can hear all the noises it makes. This car makes a commute fun. If a car can make you smile when all you're doing is moving up onto the driveway to wash it, as I did yesterday, then it's a good car. Forget everything else. If it causes you to smile by just basically sitting in it and moving it 10 meters, it's the car for you. And the Seicento is the car for me. I've had a lot of people say, do you want to replace it? Are you going to go and get something newer? Do you want to get a Clio 182, a Fiesta ST, and a Bath 500, you know, something like that? And I've said no. I'm going to keep this forever. This is my forever car, because nothing else offers this experience. Nothing is quite like this. And right here, right now, I would not change a thing. Right, there's a fuel tanker up ahead, so I think we'll drop it back a bit, and we'll get a bit emotional, we'll get a bit sentimental, because it has been a lot of work to bring the car back from the dead. You've seen it in all the rebuild videos, you know what we've put into it, and it's been a hell of a lot of work. But it's not just what's been on camera, it's what's happened off camera as well, because there's been so much love and support and encouragement for this build to me from other people, from people I know and from people I don't, and I think there's a lot of people that need thanking for everything they've done for this car. Toby, who donated that throttle body, just completely off his back. I was asking around to see if anyone had one. He piped up and said he had this special one that was slightly unusual, it was a bit rare, potentially a prototype one, and I was trying to buy it off him, and he goes, no, you just put some money in a charity box and I'll donate it. Just off his own back, just because, because he'd seen what I've been through, and he said, if your car's going back on the road, it's going back on the road better, you need to improve it, have this for free, just take it. And he even paid for postage and all that kind of stuff, he just sent it. So Toby, you're a legend. Thank you so much, man. It's transformed the car, and I could not be more grateful. That, to me, is a perfect demonstration of why the Italian car community is so good. There's so much love, there's so much support, so much passion, everyone helping each other out to help each other make the best cars they can and to have the most fun with them they can. I want to give a big thank you also to everyone who helped out in the workshop. Now, you won't have seen them on camera much, you might have heard them, but that means Brian, that means Matt. If you're watching, guys, thank you so much, because you've helped to do little things that haven't gone as smoothly as I've made out on camera. Things like making sure the exhaust isn't touching the anti-roll bar, things like getting the alignment done. Matt and Brian, thank you guys, you've done a top job. And Brian, I'm still not putting those rear headrests in. But I think the main person I need to thank, and the main person that I need to give a massive shout out to, is my dad. And you all know this as well, because the amount of comments we got on every single episode of the rebuild saying how helpful he is, how awesome he is for helping me and supporting me, and how much people wish they had a dad like him to help out on their cars. And you know what? You're all right. My dad has been a huge, crucial, vital part of this whole build, the initial build and now the rebuild, because he's always been there to offer help, to offer support, to offer knowledge. I'm not a qualified mechanic, I'm just an idiot who's into cars, but he is. He's got over 30 years of experience in the motor trade, and he's always on hand to lend some of it to me and to explain to me how to make things work, how to not break stuff, how the tools work, and how to get the best results out of it. And you've all seen that. He's been helping so damn much to get the car sorted. And to be honest with you, where a lot of people would have told their son or daughter or friend or whoever to poke it after a while, the points when this car wasn't working and we were both frustrated, we were both throwing tools on the ground, we were both swearing at it, there are points when some parents, some friends, whatever, would have just said, you know what, forget it, you do it yourself, I'm done. My dad wasn't like that. At no point did he say, I'm done. He always said, let's get it sorted, let's get it fixed, let's get it repaired, let's buy the parts we need, let's go back in tomorrow morning, let's sort it. He's been amazing. My dad has done so much to help with this rebuild, and I cannot thank him enough. So Dad, if you're watching, and I know you are because you always watch these videos, thank you so much. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything you've done for me, for the car, for the rebuild, everything, whether it's the help, the advice, the doing stuff in the background while I'm doing a bit, helping to film things, helping to source parts. Thank you so much, because without you, without my dad helping, this car would not be back on the road. For everything you've done, thank you. We have created and recreated a fantastic, brilliant, epic Super Seicento. And that's where the story ends for now, or at least that's where this chapter of it ends. The car's back. We started the year saying we were going to make the car more super, more brilliant, more fun, more epic than it was before, and we've ended it, and I think we've done it. The story is far from over, but after all this time, now it's just time to drive. Still recording. What are the chances of that?